So this is the entryway of the fish room. I haven't got my door installed yet. It's coming. The sink. You have to excuse the mess. Still a work in progress. Rinsing on my dive gear, whatnot. There is the mixing station. My reverse osmosis system will be there on the wall. You see the plug. Most of these plugs I've switched one outlet and the other outlet is not switched. There's the reflow dart. And again, plug with a switch for it. Probably you can end up running it off my Apex anyways, so. Got another couple of plugs. All these are GFI protected near the sump. This is where my calcium reactor is going to go. And manifold there, so that's going to feed the calcium reactor, and if I do a GFO reactor or carbon reactor, I can put it onto that. And there is the Stenner pump, the dual head pump for my automatic water changes. Just hooked up the lines tonight, realized I don't have clips to clip the hoses down, so I'll clean that all up. Keep the hoses tidy. Hook them all up underneath here. So got one line coming from my saltwater mixing station up into the pump. Comes out of the pump on this top line. It'll go down, around behind the tank, and it'll feed into my return, where I have two Waveline DC 12,000s feeding my tank upstairs. One is totally dedicated to the tank. The other one's going to share to the tank and feed the manifold, so it'll be a little bit less flow. And then on the other side of the pump, on the front side, I'll be drawing water all the way. Let's just step back. So this is where the water is going to come into my tank or sump from the tank down upstairs. And I got two 1-inch lines just in case. Probably I'm going to end up only using one maybe. But this is the line here. Comes with a weighted end. It's just a ceramic piece inside that weights the end. I'll tie that up, get that all nice and clean. And that's where it's going to suck. The dual head pump is going to suck water from the sump, and then it's going to spit it out, and I have a drain right here. So I'm just going to drill a hole in the cap. Maybe I might just leave it, I don't know, haven't decided yet. And that'll just go right down. It's P-trapped, so it shouldn't be a big deal if I left the cap off. And so far, so good. Again, more electrical outlets for the Apex, lighting for the Refugium, which is in the middle there. There's going to be filter socks in this section right here. So the water is going to come in from the tank, spill up and overflow through the socks, under that baffle, over to, and then I might put a skimmer here. I'm not sure yet, but right now the plan is just as this mangrove refugium, and then the water will go over that baffle, under that one, over, and into the return section. I do have a Life Reef external skimmer, which I am going to mount right here at the end of the tank, and it's going to draw water right away. And then I'll pipe it over the discharge to dump it at that end of the sump. and it's going to be mounted there. Again, that plug there has got a switch to it right there, so I can switch the skimmer on and off when I come down. So that's basically my fish room. Plan is on this side of the sink, I have there's my HRV vent sucking air out of this room. I have a whole bunch of power there, and another whole bunch of power there, and I got another plug there. So probably here is going to be a shelving unit with my quarantine tank. That'll go here, and yeah, and that's my fish room. Only the cleanest, nicest part of my basement. Still messy, but there you have it.